Hello everyone, you're watching PC Helper and welcome to another video in the Python 3.9 tutorial series. If by the end of this video you feel like you have learned something today, then please leave a like and also don't forget to subscribe to PC Helper for regular content. So in this video we'll be talking about loops in Python, and loops are one of the most important concepts in any programming language. In this video we'll be talking about for loop, and for loops in Python are used for iterating over a sequence. By sequence I mean iterating over a list, tuple, set, dictionary or a string. So let's see with the help of example what is a loop and how it will help us. So first of all let's make a list. So I already copied a list, so I will just paste it here. So here it is. So what if I say you want to print the whole list, then what you will do? Then you will just write print and then you will write the name of your list and then you will execute the program, and as you can see the list has been printed. But what if I say if you want that you have to print each and every item of the list one by one? Then if you don't know about loops, then what you will do is most probably you will just do this. You will use indexing to access them one by one like this, and then in the next line you will do this, then this, then this, and change the indexing from 1 to 2, then 2 to 3, and like this, and you will have this output. But for example, we have a list of, let's say, 100 items. Then what you will do? I mean, this case will be very hectic if you have a big list. In this case, loops come handy. So what a loop will do is, it will make one variable which will iterate through the list. By iterating, I mean it will access each and every item of your list one by one, and then we can simply print that variable. So let's see how that works. So first of all, we'll be talking about for loop. So first of all, write for and then name a variable. So here let's name our variable I. So this I variable will iterate through this list. So for the first time when the loop will run, the value of I will be PC. Then the second time when it will run, the value of I will be helper. The third time it will run, the value of I will be Adam, and so on. So for I in names and then this colon. This is the syntax of writing for loop. So for I in names, so for I in this list names, as the name of our list is names, print. So what should we print here? We have to print I, because when the first time our loop will run, as I already told you, the value of I will be PC. For the second time, the value of I will be helper. So yes, we have to print I. And when I'll execute this program, you can see the same thing was printed, that is PC, then helper, then Adam, then Richard, then Jason. So this is how a for loop works. This variable that we defined will be iterating through our list and accessing each and every item one by one. And for example, as in this case, I have printed the value of I, so it will print it every time the loop will run. But it's not like that we can only write one line of code inside a loop. We can do whatever we want. So let's say we also want to print, along with the name, we also want to print the length of the name, the number of characters in that name. So we can simply do it by writing print. And we have already learned about this length method in strings while we were learning about strings, and simply I. So now what will happen is, for the first time when the loop will run, the value of I will be PC, so it will print PC, and then it will calculate the number of characters using this length method in I, and the value of I will be PC, so it will count the number of characters in PC, and so on. So now I'll execute this program, and now you can see that PC has 2 characters, helper has 6, Adam has 4, Richard has 7. So you can do various stuff like this. So for example, you also want to print the type. So let's say type of I, and now let's execute this program. So we can see that PC 2, the length of PC is 2, and it is a string. Same goes for helper. So what if we make it to 58, change it to 58, and now when we will run this program, there is an error because the length operator does not work with this. Length operator does not work with an integer. So let's remove this line of code. And now when I'll run this, you can see PC is a string, 58 is an integer, Adam is a string, Richard is a string, Jason is a string. So you can do whatever you want inside a loop. Now let's talk about range in a for loop. So let's delete it and make a new for loop for I in range, and let's set the range, let's say 10, and then this colon, which is very important part of syntax. And range 10 means now the initial value of our loop is 0 and it will print till 10. But till 10 I means that it will end at 9. So let's see what happens now. Print I, and now when I'll run this program, you can see the loop started from 0. So for the first time the value of I was 0, the next time the loop ran it was 1, the next time 2, and so on, and 9 was the last thing it was printed. So it does not include the final value. So 10 is the final value here, it does not include the final value, it prints till the final value. So 9 is the last number here. Now if we write a comma here, and let's say I write 20 here, so now it has changed, like now 10 is the initial value and 20 is the final value. So now the loop will start at 10 and print till 20. So we will have numbers from 10 to 19. So now when I'll run this, you can see 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 till 19. And now you can write another argument in range, that is increment. So let's say if I write 2 here, so now what will happen is the initial value of I will be 10, it will print it, and the next time when the loop will run, it will increment the value of I by 2. So it will be 12 and it will print till 20. So now when I'll run this loop, you can see 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So this will come handy if you want to write, let's say, table of any number. So if I want to write table of 2, it will start at 2, end at 21, and increment of 2 after every time the loop runs. So you can see 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4, and it's like this only 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. You can write table of any number, let's say 7. So table of 7 will start from 7, end at 71, and increment of 7 after every number. So it's really simple, 7, 14, 21, 28, 35 till 70. So loop comes very handy in such situations. So these were the basic of loops. In the next video also I will talk about for loop only. We'll be playing with for loop, because the more we'll practice about loops, the more clearer the concept will be in our mind. So I will make 2 videos on for loops only. So thank you for watching this video. If you have any doubt, write in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next one.